Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's Mary, and I'm here with Inmate to Roommate, Season 2, Episode 4, Thrive on Chaos. And let me tell you, these motherfuckers, they thrive on chaos. Okay, let's get right into it. So, first, we are introduced this episode to Emily. Emily has had her identity stolen from her. I think back in 2007, she said, okay? And ever since her social security number was stolen from her whole life has never been the same, okay? So Emily is she has a lot of bills, okay? She has a lot of financial issues, and she thinks it's a great idea to have an inmate named Jason, who she has never met before. And Jason has been convicted of second degree drug possession and financial fraud. And he has served 3.5 years for 3.5 years in jail for this. And Emily thinks it's a great idea to have this guy move into her home. Okay. This is a case of another friend who hooked someone up with an inmate. Okay. We met Cyndi last week, whose friend Richard thought it was a great idea for inmate Jennifer to move in with her. Well, this week we have Emily, whose friend thought it was a fantastic idea to hook Emily up with Jason, who has been convicted of financial fraud, is very manipulative in his words. He could convince anyone to do what he wants, he can negotiate, etc. So, Emily's friend thought it was a fantastic idea to have, Jason come live with her. Okay. So she's, hoping that Jason will help her out with bills and etc. And yeah, let's see how this is going to turn out. Um, Jason, that seems like he's already trying to negotiate the rules the minute he walks out the gate. He's talking about having overnight visitors and things like that. And Emily's just looking at him like, let's see how all this is going to work out. Now, Jason, in his own words, says that he thrives on chaos. Whoever thought this was a great fucking idea, yeah, okay, needs to get new ideas. Now, moving on to someone who needs to get new ideas, okay? Jennifer and Cyndi are going to live together, okay? Jennifer has been, recently released. She has a drug problem. She wants to uh, mend the bridges between her and her children, her and her family. She has a lot of things on her to do list. Okay. Well, on Cyndi's to do list, apparently, is to have Jennifer as her companion, as kind of her maid. Okay. So we seen last week Jennifer is at lunch with Cyndi and her friend Richard, who thought this was a really great fucking idea. Okay, so she's telling Cyndi that yeah, she's not going to be her companion. She has a lot of things to do on her list, and the main thing on her list coming home was picking up her car. Okay, so she's in the back seat. Jennifer's in the back seat of Cyndi's car. Richard's driving. Okay, she's like all like squished in with the wheelchair in the back, and she's like, "We're gonna go get my car, right?" And basically, Cyndi and Richard told her no, because Richard has to go to work, and the world doesn't revolve around Cyndi. And Cyndi's like, "Hold up, but wait a minute. I thought you guys told me that we were going to get my car first priority as soon as I walked out of these gates." And she catches an attitude. She's like, roll down the window. I need a minute. So then they get to the house. And Jennifer is like, what in the actual fuck did I just walk into? Okay, so now this is where we get inmate to roommate cross with hoarders. Okay, Jennifer said that Cyndi's house is disgusting. It smells disgusting. And her OCD is about to go off the wall. The first thing she would do is declutter, then she would clean, then she would deep clean. Okay. Now, Cyndi makes her breakfast, and Cindy's like, your curfew is at 9. You have to be home at 9 every night. And Jennifer's looking at her like, excuse me? I already have a mother. I just came out of prison. I don't need another mother, and I don't need another prison like atmosphere. Okay? I am a grown ass woman, and my curfew should not be 9 o'clock. And Cyndi, on the other hand, is like, well, you need to prove yourself to me that you're not going to go back to your old ways. And why don't you prove yourself to me that you're not going to go back to your old ways? And I'll let go little by little. Because Jennifer's like, listen, Cyndi, we're just roommates, okay? You need to stand on the sidelines and let me do my thing. And Cyndi, she is looking more of a companion than a roommate. So we are going to see how this all turns out. Okay. Now, Aaron, on the other hand, is lucky because he found out this episode that David used to be a racist, but he's not anymore. Yes, you heard me correctly. David and Aaron go out canoeing. Okay. David took him on a little canoeing trip. Okay. And he asked Aaron, do you know how I got into this whole prison thing and talking to inmates and hosting inmates and all this stuff and Aaron's like, no, as a matter of fact, I don't. And David's like, well, I grew up racist. And I realized that I grew up very racist. And for, people who say that we're not racist, us liberals, we're actually really racist. And Aaron is looking at him like, dude, first of all, what are you saying here? You're a racist and you have me living with you. And secondly, my parents were liberals. I'm a liberal. So what the fuck are you saying here, dude? Okay. So David just basically says that growing up the way he did made him realize that he grew up racist. Okay. And this whole experience opens up his eyes to what really needs to be done in society. And Aaron is just like, listen, I don't want you to think of me of some charity case that you're taking in here. And David's like, no, 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 no. And then David laughs. And yeah. Anyway, so moving on. Mark in his brand new Jordans. Okay. He left Analisa and Vada's house and he came back in brand new Jordans. Okay. Now, the way we started off their scene, Mark is like, listen, I'm going to the hospital. I'm not feeling well. I don't care what you say, Analisa. You ain't a doctor. You ain't a nurse. My whole shit is numb over here. Don't you see my whole shit is numb? I'm going to the hospital. My health is first. I'm going to the hospital. Fuck this. Fuck that. I'm going to the hospital. And Analisa is not buying it at all. Analisa's like, this dude is full of shit. He is not sick. He is not going to the hospital. And when he gets back, okay, he is wearing a brand new pair of Jordans. Analisa's like, I wonder where he got those sneakers from. I don't realize they sell sneakers at the hospital. Do they, Vada? Then she asked Mark, which hospital did he go to? What did they say? And Mark is like, what? Even the producers asked Mark, did you go to the hospital? And he said, absolutely. So what did they say at the hospital? Well, they told me to come back tomorrow for a confirmation. So Analisa and Mark are going at it. Okay, they are going at it. And Vada is stuck in the middle between his wife and this dude that for some reason he wants to do by rights so badly. Okay, did he owe Uncle Pee-wee a huge gambling debt or something? Is that why he feels so indebted to Uncle Pee-wee that he's going to stick his neck out and fight with Analisa over Mark? I mean, at one point he was practically yelling at Analisa to stop it, to stop it, that he said to stop it. And Analisa said, you're not standing over me, trying to tell me what to do. So Mark's loving all this. Okay, they're arguing, Annalisa and Vada, and Mark is in the kitchen eating cinnamon toast crunch. Okay, Mark is loving all this shit. This is entertainment for him, and the more they fight, the better. Okay, so Vada's insisting that this is going to work. Okay, that Annalisa and Mark just need to get along, and they need to work with each other, and everything will be just fine. Okie dokie. So anyway, moving on to Devon. Now, when we last saw Devon in last week's episode, his car was overheated. He was still a while away from Texas, where he needed to report in person to his parole officer, or he was going back to prison. Okay, so he's all freaking out. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with this car? This car is smoking. Okay, so he calls his parole officer. And I want to say the content creator in me feels like that this scene was total bullshit. Okay, parole officer on the phone, and he's like, listen, my car is overheated. I've taken some pictures of it. I don't want to get into trouble, blah blah blah. And the parole officer's like, listen, okay, make sure you get here. I'm going to see those pictures when we get here, and we'll take it from there. Wow. Okay, so 9 hours later, he pulls up to Daniel and Kathy. Okay, and then he realizes that there's going to be rules attached to the nice room that they gave him. Okay, they provided him with a room with a sofa bed, a whole refrigerator to himself. It is so hot on the East Coast, I could sit in the whole refrigerator right now. Okay, in Devon's room. Devon's like, it's cool having my own fridge. They need to upgrade the TV. However, he has a laptop. He has everything all hooked up in there. Okay, so the next morning, Kathy's making breakfast, and Daniel just reminds Devon of the 4 rules. Okay, no obscenities, no pornography, no overnight guests, and the number 1 rule: no drugs or alcohol. The minute they realize that he is out the motherfucking door. Okay? So, at the end of the episode, we get a message from production. They received a phone call from Daniel and Kathy at 3:30 in the morning. And this is the message that they received. Devon has been arrested. They found some powder and some needles in his car. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So Devon, who was out for what, 3 to 4 days, already rearrested, found with drugs. So Kathy and Daniel, I'm sure they are disappointed AF, and Kathy's probably going to flip the fuck out, okay? Because he wasn't in their home for 24 hours. And he already, so anyway, that's what happened this week on Inmate to Roommate season 2, episode 4. I am loving this show this season again. Okay, it is thriving on chaos, and yeah, so let's see what happens next week. Everybody stay cool. It is hot AF on the East Coast. I could barely think here. So stay cool. Stay in air conditioning. Drink lots of water. And don't forget to take your medication. Thank you so much for watching me. Please subscribe if you don't already. Hit the like button. Share my video with a friend or 10. And please consider joining my membership. Thank you so much, everyone. See you next time. Bye.